YoFlo. Okay, hi guys, just going to do a quick app demo on the current iteration of the UI, as in the YoFlo user interface. Just gave it a quick title. This iteration, I gave it a tagline of powerful tools, powerful users. Now the focus of this iteration was to create clear data outputs. In fact, I've got some focuses here. So first one, simply defining the data. The users need to be able to see the data clearly, understand what's going on. It needs to be clear and simple. Interactive widgets, so this is the powerful tools section. We need to create tools where users can really clearly see and manage their data in a powerful way. Intuitive architecture, so it just needs to be super easy to use, super simple, intuitive. And then habitual design. We want to create habits. We want to make it so that users keep coming back to YoFlo. They always open the app and they've got maybe 3 things that they always check. Bing, bish, bash, bosh. They always hit it. So I'm going to try and make this really quick. There's a lot to go through, but they're the main points. So let's just get into it. So we've got drop down menus. This is how it all works. So smash the YoFlo at the top, and this is our main navigation section. So we've got our total ins to date. So as you can see, I've got a little character here. He's just Paul. So hey Paul, looking good. Your footfall is trending up. Keep doing what you're doing. So this is just a quick little notification telling him that he's doing well. Obviously, you got your total ins to date. So this is a little bit of a gamifying section, I guess. Just all his counts are here, so you can see he's just broke over 10,000, which is cool. You've got profile, dashboard, and settings. So this iteration was basically just all the dashboard stuff, not really gone into settings or profile. As you can see, if you click them, just under construction. So let's go through to dashboard and get us started. So these are your widgets. I'm going to quickly describe how the widgets work, and then we'll go in depth into each widget and into the specifics. So each widget is based on a time frame. So this top one is your main widget. It's always going to be open, and this is today's widget. It's live stats. All these numbers change. This is what's going on right now. As you go down, we've got recent trends and achievements. Then we've got weekly progress, monthly heat map, and a yearly tracker. So you can see the time progression there, week, month, year, and we've got daily stuff here. In the top bar you've got the title, and then you've got on the right over here you've got the date. So this is the specific date, and over here you've got ways of cycling through different days. So here you can see you can cycle through the last 3 days by clicking the side arrow, and these little dots sort of simplify that. So let's just get into the actual content. So you can see that this is all live stuff. Ins are in green. You got occupancy, which is in orange. Occupancy and capacity are in the same little table here. You can see capacity is under it, 64% capacity, and this little bar signifies that. Outs are in red, and then below we've got a graph. So this graph shows current occupancy hour by hour. So that's 8 AM, 9 AM, 10 AM, and it goes on throughout the day. Stops at 5 because that's where we are right now in this fake situation. So you've got a little graph here showing how your day's progress gone in relation to yesterday's progress. You've got your average ins per minute, so this is 1.8 minute currently coming, and average dwell time, which is 16 minutes. Now, creating these powerful widgets, the powerful tools, the next section is where you expand it, and this is what really makes each widget its own and creates it just from a dashboard to a tool that the user can use. So, and the color coding scheme that creates a more easily defined data. So ins are always represented with green, and occupancy is always represented with orange. So there's a quick way, once a user understands this, there's a quick way that he doesn't have to mess around. But saying that, for the new users, we've got a thing where if you hold down on anything, any sort of statistic, a little define box pops up. So I just clicked down on occupancy, and you can see a little definition box of occupancy came up. So occupancy is counted by people. Occupancy, or OCC, is a measurement of how many people currently occupy your space. Capacity shows how full your space is. You can see you've got a little example there, and then occupancy is based on a live count of ins and outs. So, and then you could do the same over here for dwell time, because people might not know what dwell time is. So you click it and defines what dwell time is there. You can pause the video at any time. I know this is dense, so feel free to pause, obviously, and take an in-depth look, because I am just going to speed through. So, little box in the corner here, this expands the widget. So this is the expanded today's live stats widget. So basically what it does is it expands this graph to this highlighted bit here. So this is like a magnifying glass where this slider will slide across the graph and you'll be able to see different statistics at different times. So here we could change, say we didn't want to watch yesterday's stats because they were getting too confusing, we could just take them away by clicking out of yesterday. Say we want to see the total ins instead of occupancy, boom, goes into the total ins. Say we want to compare that back with yesterday, here we go, and that shows you total ins compared with yesterday. And this really creates this sort of powerful user experience where they can really see exactly what they want very clearly, very quick way. So that wraps up the total live stats. As I say, this changes as you go on, and even as in the interactive bit, as you slide this, all of these will change because obviously you're sliding down the timescale. So currently we're at 4, but if we want to go to 11, obviously all of these will change to how they were at 11 o'clock. So your dwell time might change. So that's live stats. That never collapses. This is always open, always on your dashboard. You see that, bing, as soon as you go in. The second widget is the recent trends and achievements. Now this is probably the most simple widget. As you can see, it's just a timeline of all your recent trends and achievements. You can scroll down and that just shows everything that's going on. It doesn't really go much further than that because I think the achievements and the trends page will actually be in your profile page if you want to really look at that in-depth stuff. This is just a place for data, but this links into some stuff. So as you can see, 34 minutes ago, you beat your dwell time record today. Congratulations. So that's an achievement and it's signified with the little trophy over there. So let's close that down. Now, when we're talking about creating habits, achievements are a great way of doing that, because if we can create loads of achievements and loads of notifications and loads of reasons for people to check the app, that cements the habitual sort of behaviour. Like the more someone does something, the more likely they're going to keep doing it. So this is a good example of how we can integrate that. So you beat your dwell time record today, congratulations. Down here you see the little star under weekly progress. So this takes us to our next tab, but this is also a little notification and it's almost like a chain to find a specific piece of data. So as you can see, I'm going to open this up, weekly progress. So this shows you your total ins last week, but the achievement we saw was about dwell time, it wasn't about total ins. So if you expand the app, turns it into the powerful app where you've got all the different options. You see average dwell time's got a little star on it, click average dwell time and boom, there we see that the average dwell time has a star because you beat your record today. You've got 24 as an average dwell time, and that's the most you've ever had. Obviously it's the same as before, you've got your weekly, but this time it's weekly, sorry, so it's, and underneath it you have the date, so that clearly represents the date, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then obviously you can cycle through to last week and the week before through the little top corner here. You can take away the previous week comparison if you just want to see the data clearly, or you can add it in. So that's how that one works. Moving on to my favourite, I think this is the most powerful, I really like it, I think it's really cool, the monthly heat map. So at the minute this is just the dates and underlaid with the heat, like when I say heat, sorry, the opacity. So these are really bright on Saturday because you're really busy Saturday, and maybe the 27th you're really busy, but this is just the date, 1, 2, 3, 4, sorry, the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, all that, and you can see this is February. You cycle through the months again at the side there. You want to make this more clear, open this up, and it looks very similar, but I love the way you can compare really quickly all these different statistics. So say you got Saturday, say you want to compare all your Saturdays, but you want to compare your average ins per minute on Saturdays. Just take a look at your Saturdays, and click through, and obviously they're all there, and just think it's super clean, super simple, very easy way. And obviously different statistics, the heat map might change, so your average dwell time, you might actually have people dwelling more when it's less busy, and they're just in and out on a Saturday because they're more busy or whatever. Yeah, different, yeah, whatever. Let's just move on, sorry. So let's close this up and go and have a look at the yearly tracker. So as you can see, the colours scheme is the same throughout, so ins are always in green and all that. I think that's really important, because some of these statistics, especially with the yearly tracker, can get quite statistical. If you don't have a firm grasp on just basic statistics, I guess, it might get out of hand quite quickly. So the colours really rein that in, and obviously labels will rein that in more, and the whole definition thing. So yeah, so sorry, I sort of went ahead then, I didn't chat about what this was. So this is just a graph showing you how your year has gone so far by the months at the side. So this is a good way of visually seeing, say if you're going having a drop like you're having a peak time or a low time in your business. You can click through different ones and compare them all. You can even click through them all of them, but I can imagine it gets quite busy. Let's have a look through to this. So this is your average daily total ins, all the same stuff, but you can scroll through the months and you can see the average, the monthly average for that. So if we're going to take this one for example, the total ins in January on an average day, so the average of the days, you have 135 people coming in every day. And this goes through the same on each month. And then what drops out at the bottom of this is an average of all the months. So really, maybe this should be retitled to yearly average or something. But basically, on an average month, you get 124 people coming in on the average. So this is a good way of seeing the big picture stuff. These are just big numbers, quick way to see, yeah, like I say, all the big picture stuff. You can cycle through the years there. Very quick way to change. Yeah. So that's really it. I just wanted to storm through this really quickly. I really like this. I think it's a good way of representing all the data across all the different time frames, and it's a very simple way of skipping through to certain weeks. Maybe a search function would make this even more powerful, so maybe a search widget. But saying that, I really like the way this turned out. Yeah, I hope you guys liked it. I don't think there's much more. That's pretty much everything. See you later.